In this video, we're going to be reviewing inequalities, one variable and two variable inequalities. First thing I'd like you to do is to pause this video and go through and try and pick the correct answer choices over here to match the words. Okay, the first one says x is less than 3. We have x is less than 3. So as I look through my answer choices, I have C. So the first one would have been C. The next one says x is at least 3. At least, greater than or equal to 3. I go through here and I find it. There it is. It's B. We have x is more than 3. More than, there it is, letter D. X is 3. X equals 3. Letter E. Number 5, x is a maximum of 3. So x is less than or equal to 3. So I have letter A. X is at most. X is less than or equal to 3. Again, letter A. X is no less than. No less than. So x is greater than or equal to 3. We have letter B. X is no more than 3. X is less than or equal to 3. The answer is A. Here's the next page. You can pause this video and we can go through each one of these. Let's try and just do the first two. Right here, the first thing we need to do, this is our one variable inequalities, we need to get m by itself. And the way we do this, we add 10 to each side. I get negative 2m is less than or equal to 18. I'm going to divide by negative 2. Ding, 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 ding. I divided by a negative. When you divide by a negative, you have to flip the sign. So instead of less than, it becomes greater than or equal to. And we have m greater than or equal to negative 9. Now for graphing, I'm going to start here at negative 9. Since it is equal to, it is a closed circle, greater than all the numbers to the right, and I'd shade to the right. Number 10. The first thing you do to solve this one, do the distributive property. Negative 2 times x, negative 2 times 7. So I have negative 2x plus 14 greater than 22 minus 4x. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to add 4x to each side. I get 2x plus 14 is greater than 22. I'm going to subtract 14 from each side. I get 2x is greater than 8. Divide by 2. X is greater than 4. There's my answer. So I have 4 here. It is going to be an open circle because it does not have an equal to bar. Greater than is going to go out to the right. The next two. First thing I'm going to do right here, let's get x by itself. Now, let's do this a couple ways so you can see. I'm going to add 8 to each side. Right here I get negative, oh, what is that? That's a 6. Negative 14 is less than x. This is difficult. You can't graph it the way it is right now. You'd actually have to flip it over. And if I move this over, move the x to the left and the negative 14 to the right, this symbol right here would have to flip over because it's got to open big to the x. It's supposed to be x is greater than negative 14. Well, if it makes sense, because this is saying negative 14 is less than x, it's saying the same thing. So this is negative 14. I'm going to use an open circle, and I'm going to shade to the right. The next one, I'm going to do the distributive property right here. So I have negative n plus 22 greater than or equal to 3n plus 18. I'm going to move my n's to the left, so I'm going to subtract 3n from each side. I'm going to get negative 4n plus 22 greater than or equal to 18. I'm now going to subtract 22 from each side. I get negative 4n greater than or equal to negative 4. I'm now going to divide by negative 4. Ding, 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 ding. I divided by a negative. What do you have to do when you divide by a negative? You have to flip this sign. So I get n is less than or equal to 1. So here at 1, I have a closed-in circle, and I shade to the left. Here's the next one. This one is going to be a linear inequality. The first thing you're going to do, a linear two-variable inequality. I'm going to start with the y-intercept. That's at 0. If there's not a number there, it's 0, 0. Now my slope is 2. 2 over 1 tells me to go up 2 to the right 1. So I'm going to start at the y-intercept, up 2 to the right 1 and put a dot, up 2 to the right 1 and put a dot, up 2 to the right 1 and put a dot. Now I also can go down 2 to the left 1, down 2 to the left 1. Now, do I use a solid or a dashed line? If it has the equal to bar, I need to use a solid line because everything on this line is part of the solution. This is the greater than symbol, which means we shade up. So you will start on your line and draw a line up. You are shading everything that is above this line. So everything in the shaded area and on the line is a solution. Next one, put a dot on the y-intercept, negative 2. The slope is negative 4 over 1. Down 4 to the right 1. Down 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right 1 and put a dot. Down 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right 1 and put a dot. I can go up 1, 2, 3, 4 and to the left 1. Up 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left 1. Now, do I use a solid or a dashed line? It does not have the equal to bar, so it's a dashed line. So this is my boundary line, but nothing on this line is in the solution because it's not equal to. Now, this symbol right here is less than. That means that we're shading down. So I'm going to find my line, and I'm going to draw a line down. Draw a line down, down. Everything over here below this line is in the solution. Nothing on the line is because it's not equal to, but all the other stuff that's shaded is a solution. Next one. I'm going to put a dot on the y-intercept, which is plus 3. The slope is negative 1/3. That tells me to go down 1 and to the right 3. Down 1 to the right 1, 2, 3. Down 1 to the right 1, 2, 3. Do that again, down 1 to the right, 1, 2, 3. Or I can go up 1 to the left, 1, 2, 3. Up 1 to the left, 1, 2, 3. Now it is equal to, so that means it is a solid line. Everything on this line is a solution. This symbol right here is greater than. Greater than means to shade above, so I would go on my line, go above. And if I drew lines, everything above this line is a solution. Is everything on the line a solution? Yes, it is because it says equal to. The next one. I can't graph this the way it is. I have to solve for y. I have to get y by itself. So I need to divide both sides by 2. I get y is less than negative 5/2 x. First thing you need to do is plot the y-intercept. That's plus 0. So I put a dot at plus 0. My slope is negative 5 over 2. Tells me to go down 5 and to the right 2. So I start at the y-intercept. Down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right 2. Down 5 to the right 2. I can go backwards and go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left 2. Up 5 to the left 2. Now, is it a solid line or a dashed line? It does not have an equal to bar, so it is a dashed line. Nothing on this line is a solution. It is just a boundary line. This line, this inequality is less than. That means I'm going to shade down. So the solutions are everything that is below this boundary line. Number 5. Before I can do anything, I have to solve for y, so I'm going to write it over here to the side. I'm going to subtract 6x from each side. I get negative 3y greater than or equal to negative 6x plus 18. I'm going to divide by negative 3. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, we divided by a negative. You have to change the sign. It has to become less than or equal to y. Negative 6 divided by negative 3 is 2x minus 6. You need to plot the y-intercept. Negative 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The slope is 2, which is 2 over 1. It tells me to go up 2 to the right 1. So I'll start here and go up 2 to the right 1 and put a dot. Up 2 to the right 1, put a dot. Up 2 to the right 1. Up 2 to the right 1. Up 2 to the right 1. Now, if I want to draw my line, it has an equal to bar, so that means it's going to be a solid line. So I'm going to draw my solid line. This boundary line means that everything on this line is a solution. This symbol, because we divided by a negative, it flipped it over. Now it's less than, so we need to shade below. So I will go to my boundary line and draw a line down. Everything below this line is a solution. Number 6, again, it is not in slope-intercept form, so I'm going to have to rearrange it. So to do this, I'm going to add 2x to each side. I get 3y is greater than 2x plus 6. I'm going to divide by 3. Y is greater than 2/3 x plus 2. Well, I'm going to start with my y-intercept at plus 2 and put a dot. The slope is 2/3. It's positive. It tells me to go up 2 to the right 3. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go up 2 to the right 1, 2, 3. Up 2 to the right 1, 2, 3. Up 2 to the right 1, 2, 3. I'm also going to go backwards. Down 2 to the left, 1, 2, 3. Down 2 to the left, 1, 2, 3. Now, it does not have an equal to bar, so it is a dashed boundary line. Nothing on that line is a solution. It's just a boundary line. This symbol is greater than. It means to shade above. So you'll go to your line and draw a line above it. Everything up here above this line is a solution. All of this. But nothing on the line because it's a dashed line. Okay, looking at these answer choices right here, let's figure out, pause that video and figure out which one of these equations would be the answers to these down here. Well, let's look at number 7. One thing I know is that it's an equal to because it's a solid line. Okay, so it's not, I would not cross these out if I were you. I'm just going to do it because I can erase it. It's not this one, this one. There's no equal sign. Equal, 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 no. Okay. The next thing I would look at is the Y-intercept. It is plus 4. Oh, shucks. All of them have plus 4. Now the shading, if I start and look here, is this above? Is it shading above or below? Well, I'm drawing an arrow up. It's above. If it's above, it's got to be greater than or equal to. Well, there's the greater than, greater than. These two have less than, so these can't be it. Now I have the option between a 2x and a 1/2 x. Well, 2x means up 2 and to the right 1. So let's start at the y-intercept. If I go up 2 to the right 1, up 2 to the right 1, sure enough, my answer to this one should be D. Okay, well, let's cross all, let me erase all these. Now I can cross off D because I know that I've already used it. Let's look at the next one. Number 8. It's a dashed line, so I know that it can't have the equal to bar. So I'm going to cross off these. They have equal to bars. All right, the rest of them are okay. They all have a y-intercept of 4, but let's look at the shading. Is the shading above or below? Well, if I draw a line up, they're above. That means that it's got to be greater than. That's less than. Can't be this one. That's greater than, less than. Nope. Okay, so what's the slope on this one? If I start here and I go like, let's see, this one right here is 2 over 1. If I go up 2 and over 1, is that on the line? Up 2 over 1. Nope, that is too steep. But 1/2, if I go up 1 and to the right 2, up 1 to the right 2, that sure works. So B would be the answer choice for this one. So let me cross out all these. I know that I can't have B or D, that I've already used those answer choices. So now on this one, it's a solid boundary line. That means I've got the equal to bar underneath of it. So that means it can't be this one. Nope. Nope. But it can be one of these. So now, as I look at this line, am I shading above? Nope. Am I going below? Yes, that's less than. So now, there's a less than, that's a greater than. Okay, so now I'm down to 2 choices here. Let's look here. This says 1/2. 1/2 means up 1 to the right 2. So if I go here, up 1 to the right 2, up 1 to the right 2, that doesn't work. So it can't be this one. I hope it's 2x. So I look here and I go up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. Sure enough, it works. G is my answer choice. All right, let's look at the next ones. So we've used B, D, and G. Now we can go, you can pause the video and now to the next choices, see if you can figure out which one is the correct one. Right here we have a dashed line. Actually, all 3 of these are dashed lines if you looked at them all together, so I would get rid of these 2. Okay, so it's going to be these 3 that I'm choosing from. Now, this one, they're shading below. That means it's less than. I have a less than. I have a less than. It's not this one. Now, what is the slope? This says 2x. So if I go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, sure enough, this works. A is the answer here. Well, so let's see. Let me cross these out. And I know that I can't use A anymore. Number 11. Dashed line. Well, that means these got to go. So now, the shading is above. Which one of these 2 is above? It is greater than. That means that C would be my answer. The next one, right here, again, it's got to be, that cannot have the equal to. It is shading below. So the answer would be H. So the only ones I actually have left, because of the boundary lines I knew, was E and F. So there's the next ones. We look at these. We've already used those. We've got E and F. We've just got to figure out which one's greater than and which one's less than. Look at the 2 of them. Well, they're both solid boundary lines, so there's equal to. This one is shading down. If you shade down, that is less than. This should be E, and this one should be F because it is shading above. This one, it wants us to write the inequality and tell if these are solutions. So first off, let's write the inequality. The first, out to the side, I'd write M equals and B equals. And let's figure out if it's a dashed line and where we shade. First off, the y-intercept is always the easiest. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0, negative 5. It is a dashed line. Where is this shading? The shading is above, which means it's greater than. So I know my inequality is y is greater than something x minus 5. Well, what am I missing? I'm missing the slope. The line is decreasing. If I start here and I go down 1 to the right 1, that's not on the line. Down 1 to the right 2, not quite. Down 1 to the right 3. Let's try it again. Down 1 to the right 3. So negative 1 over 3. There's my inequality. Now it wants to know if 0, negative 5 is a solution. 0, negative 5 is right there. It is on the dashed line. If it is on a dashed line, it is not a solution. The only time it can be a solution is if it's on a solid line. Negative 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, up, 1, 2. That is in the shaded area. If it is in the shaded area, yes, it is a solution. Here's the next one. Wants us to find the inequality. Well, let's look over here. I've got M equals, B equals. I've got to have the line and the shading. B, the y-intercept, right here. 1, 2, 3. 0, 3. Now the line is solid. The shading is below, which is less than. But what is the slope? The slope of a horizontal line we should know is 0. So I can write this a couple of ways. Y is less than or equal to, because of this, 0x plus 3. But better to write it, you'll see it more likely like this. Y is less than or equal to just 3. Now it wants to know if 0, 3 is a solution. 0, 3 is right there. It is the y-intercept. It is on the solid line. If it's on the solid line, yes, it is a solution. What about the point 4, 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is not in the shaded area. That is not a solution. Number 17. Well, let's find the slope, the y-intercept, the line, and the shading. Well, the y-intercept right here looks like it is 0, 1. The line is solid. The shading, I go down, so if it's down, it's less than. Now, the only thing that messes me up is the slope. The line is kind of steep, so I'm going to be going up quite a bit. I'm going to go up 1, 2, and over 1. Nope. Up 1, 2, 3, and over 1. Up 3 over 1. Up 3 over 1, which is 3. My inequality y less than or equal to 3x plus 1. 2, 4 over 2 up 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that in the shaded area? Yes, it is. It is a solution. What about 0, 4? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is not in the shaded area, so it is not a solution. Here's the next one. Well, let's write this. I need the slope, the y-intercept, the line, and the shading. First off, the y-intercept. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0, negative 5. My line is dashed. My shading is below, which is less than. Now my slope. Starting at my y-intercept, If I go up 1 and over 1, well, it looks like it's on there. Let's see again. Up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. Seems to work. So if I go up 1 and over 1, 1 over 1 is 1. My inequality is y is less than 1x minus 5. Or you can write it as y is less than x minus 5. 0, negative 5. It's on the dashed line. It's on the dashed line. It is not a solution. 0, 0. It's up here. It is not in the shaded area. If it is not in the shaded area, it is not a solution. Here's the next one. It says, which solution is included in the solution set? Now we can go in and plug these numbers in and try and figure it out. For me, the easiest way to do it, like I could go in and put 0 in for x, negative 3 in for y, and see if it makes it true. For me, it's easier just to graph it. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, put a dot. The slope is negative 1/2. Down 1 to the right 2. Down 1 to the right 2, put a dot. Down 1 to the right 2, put a dot. Down 1 to the right 2. Okay, so I have a solid line because it says equal to. So I'm going to put my solid line out there. The only thing is you have to be careful when you graph this. Now it says greater than, which means I shade above. Now let's look and see. I'm looking for something either on the line or in the shading. 0, negative 3. That would be down here. That doesn't work. 3, 0. That's still a little shy of it. That doesn't work. What about negative 3, 0? That's right there, not in the shaded. 0, 3, sure enough, it's right there on that line. 0, 3 would work. I don't really like all those dots or stars, but the answer would be 0, 3. Here's the next ones. Which inequality is best represented by the graph at the right? Okay, this one takes a little bit more time because you see how it's kind of in standard form. We have to have it in slope-intercept. But there's a few things we can do to eliminate right now. One of the things I can do, see how it's a dashed line? You know that it cannot have this equal to bar right there. So I would cross off A and I'd cross off C. Now you can't cross off these two because you don't know about flipping the sign. So really what you would have to do, you would have to go and solve for y. So you have 3x plus 5y is less than negative 15. Subtract 3x from each side. 5y is less than negative 3x minus 15. Divide by 5. Y is less than negative 3/5 x minus 3. 1, 2, 3, that is the y-intercept. Negative 3/5, and you're graphing below because it's less than. Your answer would be B. Now it says which point is included in the solution set? Well, you need to find something that's in the shaded area because it can't be on the line because it's dashed. So you have negative 3, 0. There's that point. It's not in the shaded area. That's not the answer. 0, negative 3. That's on the dashed line. That is not equal to. Negative 2, negative 1, 2, 3. Sure enough, that's in the shaded area. Let's double check this one. 3, 1, 2, 3, negative 2. That is not in the shaded area, so your answer would be C. Here's the next one. First thing I'd be looking at is I have a dashed line. It means that there's no equal to bar. Well, none of them have it. Y-intercept is 2. Yeah, they all have positive 2. Let's look at this. I could do this. My line, well, first off, the shading is above. That means it's going to be greater than. Well, darn, they're all greater than. My line is negative because from left to right, my slope is going down. My slope is negative. That's a positive slope. Nope. That is negative. That's a positive. Nope. That is negative. So I have -4 or -1/4. So that means, is it down 1 and over 4? Or is it down 4 and over 1? Well, let's see. Down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right 1. Nope, not even close. Down 1 and over 1, 2, 3, 4. Sure is. The answer would be D.